all you wonderful people. I have a new microphone, a whole new microphone set up, and I just want to know, can you hear me? Can you see me? It should sound really good. These are a nice set of mics, and they are the Hollyland mics. Come in this cool little case. As you can see, there's only one mic removed right now because there's this one right here because there's someone missing. Perfect. She's on her way down. She is, we took a nap. So we started a new routine. And that routine is getting up when the girl gets here, where we have for the longest time tucked her in and gone back to sleep. So we got up today at 6. I got up right at 6 because our middle child called, and I was thinking that it was the girls calling that they're on their way, and it was our middle child that he had locked his keys in his car down the street. So I only had to go down the street, but yeah, so I drove over there, gave him his key. We talked for a while, then I came home, made the girls breakfast, made myself coffee. We went for a long walk today on a treasure hunt. We went to the pool. We did all kinds of cool stuff. And yeah, so it was just one of those days. And so about 3 o'clock, we gave her a bath. Something like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we gave her a bath. And then we passed out hard. So yeah. Let's get you mic'd up, baby doll.
Oh, yeah. Struggle bus.
Here we go.
Are we already live?
Yes. Right,
oh, sorry guys. Struggle busing it today.
there you go.
Okay.
And you can hear her, yes?
Can you hear me now?
All right. I think we should be connected. All right. So I was just telling them that. Just telling them about our new routine. Yeah.
Our new routine to get up at 6 a.m. with the toddler and stay up with her all day.
Ooh, it's quite the undertaking.
Oh, hi everybody. Sorry, I am so tired. This in a very time, and then getting up with a child at 6 a.m. and keeping her entertained all day. Because normally we nap in the morning, and now we're not because we got to get ready for school.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
I'm exhausted.
So I wanted to touch on something that is a carryover from my Sunday Live. But I want to say hello to some people first here. It looks like we've got Evelyn is here. We love you, Evelyn.
Thank
Jennifer
you for joining
Lucas.
us.
We love you. Javelin. We love Javelin.
We love Javelin.
Yeah. So we got
Hi,
Evelyn,
Jennifer.
Evelyn. We got Jason here. We got Carl, Sean. We're going to be talking about you in a second, Mr. Sean. Jaqueline is here. Jaqueline is here. Everybody say hello to Jaqueline. Jaqueline.
Bruce is here. Shh, too loud? No. Just not fully awake right now.
Everybody's excited to see you.
Happy to see you guys. So glad you're all here.
Jason's got a new logo. Look at that. It's a chaffle.
Oh, that
chaffle
is
man.
Cute. It looks a little crazy, but I like it.
He got some new wireless mics, but a bit tricky to set up and tune, but I like them. These are basically just plug and play, but getting them to work with the computer has been quite an ordeal because they're designed to work with a camera or a phone. So it comes with like the 2 different adapters for the 2 different types of phones, whether Lightning or USB. And then it comes with this little thing here that will attach, basically is to attach to a camera, and the clip will attach to a cold shoe. But
if anybody, I have no idea what he's talking about, but yeah. If anybody else is in my boat, oh, okay. Okay.
So,
And Bruce is here. He says hi.
yeah, and then
He's trying to figure out where is the most comfortable spot on my thigh.
he's trying to tie me into you too, and I'm like,
He just loves you.
I know, but I need
too.
my arm to be able to move. So Sunday I was on my live, and we got to talking about YouTube and monetization, and Sean super chat.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. You don't have to ever have to do that.
And something came up with talking about Buy Me a Coffee, because I had signed up for Buy Me a Coffee about a year or two ago, and I've just never received any information about it. It just sat there. And then Sean's like, yeah, I've sent you like 3 of them. And I'm like, what? So I go over and I check. And sure enough, Sean and I got to look up who else sent me, because I don't want to forget them either. And I have sent video responses to them. Yeah. Because you can send 30-second video responses saying thank you. So it's like a personalized thing. So anytime you send me a Buy Me a Coffee tip or whatever, I will send you, or we will send. Yeah.
Leave it to you to not know to even look for it.
You would think that there'd be like an email that come in saying, hey, somebody gave you some shmoney. There was no shmoney email.
Well, that's so awesome. Anybody who's done that for us, you don't have to do that. We appreciate it. Every little bit does help keep us rolling, keep this going, even if Terry doesn't realize there is money.
So Terry Ross donated to us. She says, buy a lovely coffee to wash down that mayo pudding.
Oh,
so the failed mayo pudding, and that was in March. That's
how behind this man is,
right? And Sean said, I really enjoy your Sunday lives, Dustin. In April. I'm a terrible human.
He is a terrible human.
I feel so bad. I was like, oh, because I mean, people are like sending me money. I'm like, he's never even mentioned it. Not a thank you, not a nothing. And I'm like,
it's all right. I'll beat him later.
Ooh.
Don't say that. Yucky. Thank you. Oh, we blinked out and came back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we have fiber. It shouldn't do this.
That's true. Do you guys see us now?
Hopefully we're here.
Are we still here?
Do you hear us? Do you see us?
Mama, can you?
Do you know what that's from?
No.
That's from what's his name from Harry Potter and the second one, where the famous book writer guy is there and he's like, hi, can you all see me? Yes, that's how I feel.
He's a dork. It's okay though.
Jaqueline says that currently making dinner and pulling out my keto chow. Oh, she's going to be selling some of her keto chow. She's going to sell them real cheap. We may buy some of her big bags.
Do you got some core?
Do you have core? Because I really like the chocolate core. I've been putting it in my coffee, the unflavored chocolate core.
I like.
I don't know what's that even the big bags.
Unflavored chocolate core. That does not make any sense.
Unflavored? No, I mean unsweetened chocolate core.
Yes.
I'm going to fight you. I'm going to pit you and Jaqueline to the death.
Are you?
Yeah. Jaqueline, Javelin.
Yes. We're having that day.
Ken is here.
Thanks for joining us, Ken.
I hope you two are feeling better. I hope you're both on the mend.
Yes. You guys are gonna keeping on.
You got to take your little one to the safari in Paoli. Charlie will never forget today. I may never get all the critter chow out of my car. We didn't do hardly anything this summer with her.
We took her to the pool.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, but
we went to the pool a lot.
We didn't go to like
places.
I mean, we took her to Target. That costs a lot.
Yeah, we took her to Target. Anytime it rained or anytime we needed to do stuff, we went to Every Day I'm Choppling.
Hey, I'm going to record that. Every day I'm choppling. Every day I'm choppling. And you can use that as an intro, because that'll be like, oh my God, he knows Dustin. Oh.
You're such a dork.
100%. Oh, I did end up sending another video to Melissa. My cousin Melissa, her birthday is today. So if you're watching, Melissa, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
You're getting old just like us.
Yeah.
And
old.
I called the girl a nerd biscuit on the she's like, nerd biscuit. And I'm like, I thought everybody used terms of endearment like nerd biscuit.
The things that he comes up with, at least last time he was driving in the car, he normally says the worst like combinations of words when he's upset about somebody else's driving. Now, mind you, he's never really angry, right? He doesn't usually get angry, but I am a furious driver. Like, I don't drive angry, but if my windows were down, I'd probably get shot because I say really terrible things about people driving. But he will say silly things, just ridiculous things. You're like, that sounds awful. But lately, he's managed to put actual words together to create actual, like, normal,
coherent cuss words together.
Coherent cuss words. And they're actual cuss words at this point. They're not just like random words that don't make any sense together.
They make me feel better, okay?
Do they?
They do.
Do they?
Yes.
I'm happy that they're actual cuss words. I am
Stacy says, good
Stacey!
evening, family.
We are so happy you're here.
Yeah, I hope you, like I said, I hope you are feeling better.
Stacy's a part of the, what you name this.
Yeah, the story. We'll get to that in just a minute. I just want to say hi to you guys and kind of get caught up on the chat. Let's see.
You don't even know it, but you're a part of our world even when you're not here, Stacy.
Charlie's here. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Charlie.
Fiber clogs you up. Never gonna clog you up. Never gonna bind you out. Anyway, guess what we get to do on Thursday?
What are we doing Thursday?
Deadpool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
You are both loud and clear. All
right. Loud is our normal.
Okay.
Normal. Clear. Questionable.
Sean says, we appreciate you too. Loving hanging out with you all and just wanted to show how much we appreciate it. Well, that just means the absolute world to me.
We appreciate you guys coming in, and I'm sorry he's just a little slow on the uptick sometimes.
Yeah, they're saying we were glitching there at this point. That's okay. Jen's asking if Jaqueline, shall we put our new names on our KPL shirts?
Yeah.
I did send my shirt stuff off today. So I should be getting a shirt. I want a hoodie. I want a black KPL zip up hoodie, but she seems to be on the fence whether or not she'd make one or not. I'm sure I can order one from her custom. It just won't be a part of like what everybody can order.
Yeah.
Because she does make hoodies and stuff for PhD and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sean says, I have a convertible. I know some people hear me because I see their faces in the rearview mirror.
Yeah. If people could hear me, it would be very, very bad. Very bad.
Charlie says coherent cuss words are my love language.
Well, so I typically, it's very rare that I have a sentence that doesn't have at least one cuss word in it, unless we're doing things like this or I'm at work. And even when I'm at work, if I'm in the nurse's station, every sentence has at least one cuss word. It's just how I grew up speaking. It's how I learned to talk. I'm pretty sure by the end of 5th grade, I knew every cuss word and how to eloquently combine them into phrases, new words. It's just who I am as a human. And so now, I have to behave myself and talk normally and not do that. But when I'm in the car, it is a free flow. As long as the girl's not with us. If she's with us,
But sometimes she'll be like, stop using bad words.
Yeah, I usually try to rail it back as much as I can. But like if I'm in the car, it is a free flow of just cuss vomit. It just goes. There's no stopping it. And everybody driving is an idiot. Just even if you're not, you are. Because
she calls me on her way home most nights. Some nights she's just like, I had to listen to really, really loud music on the way home. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But then I'm usually like, are you in a ditch?
Yeah. And this weekend was just the worst ever. And so a lot of my cussing was combined with crying. And so now at least we're through all of that.
Stacy says, "Don't be mean to me. I don't feel good."
Aw.
Trust us. I hope if they
You're
say
gonna love
well, they
this.
say laughter is the best medicine. You should be healed tonight.
Yes, laughter is 100% the best medicine. And you're going to love this. And you are a part of our world even when you're not here with us. And we think about you often.
And it's not bad.
It's never bad. It's always fun.
Carl says, Rick rolled by Dustin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got rickrolled by the girl the other day.
It was amazing.
amazing.
We didn't even know she knew that.
Yeah. You said something about never going to give you up. And then she just kept going and sang the entire rest of the song. And both of us were just stunned. Like,
I have never been gobsmacked before, but
You're 5. How do you know that? I mean, I know you know that, but like, how do you know that?
She's a goofy goober.
And she was giggling when doing it too.
Oh, yeah, she was.
It was amazing.
Jaheel says,
Jaheel!
Chandra, Dustin told me that you had him at hello, that he likes you just the way you are.
Yeah, I know.
Just the way you are.
He wouldn't let anybody else push him around like I do. I know.
It's true. She's pretty strong.
I'm the only mean one for you.
I can't even push her down at the pool.
No.
It's not fair.
It's because I don't want to get wet all the way to here. To here, okay.
Then don't
to here,
get in the dang pool.
I
sit on the sidelines.
No choice.
Oh.
Anyway.
Javelin says, I'm looking at going down to KPL on Thursday, currently planning for Friday a.m. I will be there Thursday.
Yeah.
Gonna have some good time, making up songs that don't rhyme. Anyway.
And most of them don't have a beat. I'm just saying from what I experience when I'm around you.
I love you. By the end of 5th grade, I heard stories about things that I shouldn't have known about, like in 2nd, 3rd grade, that I didn't get confirmation on until I was in my 20s. I can't elaborate, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I don't want to know what you're talking about, but I know. No, my
cuss vomit.
My
rage, just total rage diarrhea.
Yeah, of the mouth.
Yes,
not of the other end.
Oh, that story was funny last night. That poor girl.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. But I did feel bad for her. We watched a TikTok.
Well, it was a TikTok. Well, I had to go to get. It was a reel. She is a prominent TikToker, and she's funny, and she's always got the worst dad jokes. But she was talking about how she's had her gallbladder removed and has very
0 to 60 needing to poop.
Yeah. And she just pulled this hearse. She has a hearse, I guess, that she pulls out during spooky season. And she had to basically go to town at a moment's notice on the side of the road. And in the middle of it, she's wearing this onesie. And so she was basically
completely stark.
Yeah, just topless on the side of the road, but she had the doors open, so passerbys couldn't really see her very well. But somebody had stopped
to check on
her and was looking over the window. And she had earbuds in because the car doesn't have a stereo right now. It doesn't have air conditioning, so she just had the earbuds in, and she's just singing and going to town, taking care of business, if you know what I'm saying. And then she looks up and sees this guy. She goes, he was the most handsome guy I've ever seen in my life. And I screamed and he ran away. And I'll never unknow that he saw me doing what I was doing. I'm like.
So if you ever see a hearse on the side of the road with 2 doors open, just keep going.
Well, don't just leave people. But I mean, at least approach with caution.
Yes. Yell from the side. Anyway.
Sean says, I exemplify cursing like a sailor. I try to do better, but sometimes a sailor comes out. You know what? Cussing is an art form, and I'm an artist.
Exactly. And the thing is in my family, it just is. You just did. You just do. I mean, like I said, by the end of 5th grade, I knew them all, how to do it, how to work it, how to make it sound good.
Stacy says, I wanted a different style t-shirt for KPL, but I couldn't justify $12 more for just a V-neck. Some of us have bumps and lumps that don't fit very well in a unisex shirt.
Oh, do you know what I do for, so I hate crew necks. And if you're like me and a crew neck just comes up too high and it's just bothersome around your neckline, if you just take a pair of scissors, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can just cut a straight line down the middle and just go, about 3 inches, and it'll give you a little bit of room. Or if you take the crew neck and fold it, how do I explain this? Sideways, so that your 2 side neck seams touch each other, and pull the front forward, you can cut a small triangle out of the front and it will go up and give you essentially a V-neck. And it doesn't look bad, but it's just more comfortable. Crew necks kill me. I just can't. They bother me. They always have, even before I got fat. I've never liked a crew neck shirt. I've always been a V-neck or a scoop neck or a zip up.
Maybe we'll send a video. We'll do a little video message to her to show her that.
Yeah, I can do that. It's super easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
I don't know. All of these ladies are crafty. They might already know.
I'm glad to know all these crafty ladies.
She's crafty. Anyway.
Jason said they'll be on KPL on Thursday.
Nice.
And then Sean says they're planning to be there Thursday, but might be a bit late. I plan to be up really late Thursday night because Friday doesn't start till 3 in the afternoon. So I could kind of sleep in, get up, maybe go to brunch, get coffee, do whatever I want to do. Just be lazy, hang around, walk around the hotel, hang out with people, just because there's a huge atrium that separates the 2 towers. And it's like a gigantic bar. There's like a little quick service, like coffee shop, sandwich shop. And there's a gigantic bar that doesn't open up till the evening time. Plenty of seating. You're sitting and looking out at 4th Street or the water the other way. And it's awesome. So there's plenty of things, plenty of places to hang out. And I plan on trying to hang out with as many people as I can Thursday and mid-Friday. Because once the festivities start, then you're trying to kind of meet new people and people who don't know who I am. And that's why Thursday and Friday are so important to me, because then I get a chance to hang out with all the people that I already know. So I don't feel like I abandoned them so much, like Friday, Saturday, trying to meet new people and just interact with as many people as I can. So that I didn't know. And then I had Sunday brunch or whatever with people that I didn't know. Mm-hmm. So but I kind of felt bad because there was giant tables of people that I did, but I didn't want people to think I was ignoring them, but it's a chance to get to know a lot of people in a small area.
Yeah.
So that's why Thursday night's so important to me. So let's see, where am I at here? Where's Javelin?
This is We Are Javelin.
Oh, We Are Javelin.
Hashtag We Are Javelin.
I can't read.
I know.
Hashtag illiterate. Anyway, we are coming down on Thursday too.
Yay. Well, I wish I could go. That's poo that I can't, but it's fine.
Well, don't work that. Well, no, you have the girl.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, babe.
It's fine.
She'll bring out the cane later.
I don't even know walk with a cane yet.
The shot collar.
Well, I do need to get you one of those.
It'll be late for us for sure. We're driving all the way.
Okay, keep moving.
You know what? No one likes you.
Hello, Brenda. Thank you for joining us.
My mom's medium wasn't cursing; it was guilt.
Oh, my family's good at that too. We have a plethora of things we are wonderful at.
There's a song that whenever I hear that as guilt, I can't remember what band it is, but I know that it was one that I listened to a lot. Mm-hmm. It's like the only thing is guilt. I think it might be on. The Three-Legged Dog album, the Alice in Chains self-titled, had the three-legged dog on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's on that song. I can't remember which song it is, but it's on that later Alice in Chains release. Anyway, Jennifer says, I asked if it was possible to get a raglan sleeve separately. It's just not being offered as, I think you can order it custom.
I think the thing is there's probably so many t-shirts that she has to make. It's probably a lot easier to just
bulk it
off.
2. You get a a woman's style or a men's like normal unisex style.
Yeah.
Good idea cutting the collar. I went to see some of the city Friday this year. Didn't even leave the hotel last year. I left and went walking and went and had lunch with people and dinner with people, and that was awesome. That was because there was so much to go see and walk that wasn't far. So we'll be doing a lot of that too.
A lot of weight.
Because
on those
Sunday,
little bony feet.
because Saturday there's like, once the speakers conclude, that's the end of the. And we go off and do whatever we want.
Yeah. You gonna go rage the city?
I'm gonna rage the only way I know how. Could you come if we leave a ransom note?
Unfortunately, no, I can't. 3 weekend days this year
With the girl's birthday party,
Mhm.
and then we have a destination wedding in
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
What the destination?
I mean, that's like that's right before KPL too.
Yeah. So I cannot. That leaves me one more day if I get sick over the winter. So cross your fingers, toes, etc., and hope that I do not get sick this winter. Because if I only have one day that I can take off, that's going to really be miserable.
Jennifer and I need matching shirts. Evelyn and Jevelyn.
Yes.
Jaqueline says, I got to figure out what I want to give up my room with somebody else. Let's see. If I want to give up my room with somebody else, and see if somebody else wants to room with me, since I'll probably be solo unless someone I gonna try to take on my crazy by then. Okay. So basically, she's gonna be single, maybe, or she's gonna be maybe have somebody by then. But we don't know. Jaqueline be crazy.
She basically wants to know if somebody wants to be her roomie.
Yeah. I have a room, but I've got a bed, but it's going to be for Adam, as far as I understand. That's the plan for now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Shell had family in Louisville. We went there once with her family in high school, long time ago.
I used to go to Louisville, not frequently, but semi-frequently. My ex-husband's from Kentucky. So we spent a lot of time in Kentucky.
My family is originally from there. Like my great-grandparents grew up there, met there, and they lived in the hollers down there. And then they owned like a grocery store, kind of like convenience store. Like, because I mean, there weren't back in the day big grocery stores,
right?
And so there was like a lot of small ones that were around, and they had one of those. And then they moved. I don't know when they moved to Indiana. There's like the questions that I can't ask because they're all gone. Like mom, grandma, great-grandparents. But I was lucky enough. I had my great-grandparents until I was in my 20s.
Mm.
So that's a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't even ever meet their great-grandparents.
I never met my great-grandparents.
Like our girl got to know her great-great-grandma.
That's true. Lucky little booger.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Kind of like thing 1 and thing 2. Yes. All right. So
story time.
All right. So Stacy likes to dehydrate things, and she gave us some dehydrated onion and dehydrated garlic. And so one day I was making something for her, and I decided
like it was Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah, I made I think it was steak.
It was last Tuesday or Wednesday.
Was it? I think it was chicken. I made chicken, avocado, egg.
Yeah,
and I put some of the dehydrated garlic in there.
Now, mind you, I love garlic. Okay. Love it. So never an issue. Love garlic. Except for the fact that somebody doesn't measure, and dehydrated garlic is solid form garlic. So like it's got a crunch. Okay.
I put it in there early enough that I thought that like the butter and like the fat and the grease and stuff would kind of rehydrate it some. And I'm sitting there, I mix it all up and I cook it with the eggs and I give it to her. She's like, babe, did you put shell in here? Are there shells in here?
No, I was like, what is this meat? Why is it bony? Like I'm eating bones. What is so crunchy in here? Well, it was the garlic, which is, I mean, it tasted delicious, but it just, when you're eating something with chicken in it, you're like, oh, what is that? Why does it feel like I'm crunching bones in my mouth? Then the garlic, like I said, somebody doesn't measure. He probably put a heaping tablespoon in it because I love garlic, but I tasted it for a week. I literally cleared the flavor out probably yesterday. I mean, it was so strong that night after having that, I went upstairs to work in the eBay room for a while, and I was chewing gum because I often chew gum. It's one of my bad habits. I chew gum constantly. And I'm up there chewing gum, and I was like, my mint tastes like garlic. It's garlic mint gum.
Your drink tasted like garlic?
My drink tasted like garlic. Everything tasted like garlic for probably all the way as long as till yesterday.
And we have an ensuite. And I go in there.
Oh.
And she's doing her. I mean, we've been together a long time, so we're kind of like, it's not a big deal.
Having the door open to the bathroom, going to the bathroom while we're both in the room, it's not a thing.
Yeah, it's just, and I mean, we live together.
He's like, oh, you're killing me. And I was like, you did this. You did this. You gave me that garlic. And then I had a lot of gas.
Please come back. You are.
Oh, here we are. Do you see us again?
All right, let's go. So she had this awful gas all night. It was rough.
Oh, and my tummy hurt really bad. And I love garlic. I've never had an issue with garlic. And I don't want to blame your garlic, Stacy, but he put in so much garlic.
I did the same thing to myself a few days later. But I put a decent scoop, and I took the heavy roller that we have. She's got a marble rolling pin.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got this giant, heavy marble rolling pin. I'm like, crunch, 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 crunch. And then I took a ramekin and dumped it out in there, and then put a little bit of warm water and let it sit for about 20 minutes or so, let it rehydrate. Then I added it to my food, mixed it all up, and then ate it.
Yeah.
Can you smell garlic?
It's amazing. It's really good. But it lasts for days. It sticks in your teeth. And I was like,
and she was just going
garlic.
Off all night. It was just the funniest. It was so funny and stinky. We were laughing and
like even my coffee tasted like garlic. Yummy. And then the next morning he makes eggs in the same pan, which has all the remnant garlic. And I'm like, you're trying to kill me.
That's why I did make your eggs first.
Yes, so that I would get it all and the girl wouldn't get any, which is fair because we don't want her to have it. But I was really questioning whether he's been trying to poison me, whether this is part of it.
And none of us were visited by vampires that night.
That's true. I kept every vampire away. I'd done a week's worth of keeping the vampires away. I mean, it was really good, but really powerful.
Ooh.
Yes.
So dehydrated garlic and granulated garlic are very different.
Uh-huh.
I've learned that now. The hard way.
Doesn't mean you won't do it to me again.
So I made I got some like fresh broccoli last night, like florets from Costco, and made them. And I love like soggy, buttery garlicky broccoli. So that's what I made last night. I try to keep some that are like more fresh because she likes the more freshest garlic. You know what I mean? It's not soggy. I like it I don't like a lot of crunch in my garlic. Broccoli. I'm trying to say broccoli. So if I'm saying garlic, just replace it with broccoli. And I did, and I bought some. We'd run out of garlic.
Oh yeah.
So I had to buy another thing of granulated garlic from Costco. Mm-hmm. It's like $3.
Yeah.
And for a gigantic size.
Because you didn't want to poison me again with the dehydrated garlic.
That was just so rough.
Yeah. It was so good. It really was good. But oh Lord, it was killing me. It was killing me.
A spoonful was probably a full bulb of garlic.
I'm sure it was a heaping tablespoon because he doesn't measure. I'm positive because every bite was crunchy. I kept wondering what animal I was eating because I obviously had a mouthful of bones. And then Like it was a lot. It was a lot. Delicious, but it was a lot. And I was like, we are going to have to tell Stacy about this because nobody else would do this. Nobody else would do this but him. It was amazing.
I'm going to go backwards here. Let's see.
Okay.
Jahil says, Shander, do you think he fed you all that garlic so he could collect the life insurance and go to Disney for a year?
Well, if there was enough life insurance to do that, maybe, but he doesn't know there really isn't that much. There's enough to pay the mortgage for a year. That's about it.
Garlic sounds like the Major Payne cupcake.
I don't.
One tubby, two chubby. Would you find a piece of candy in your pocket? That movie's we watched it and she was like, this movie's terrible. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I don't remember it. I just know I didn't really like it.
A little engine that could. Choo choo. I love that movie so much. Oh, it's so good.
Anyway.
Your breath was probably just as good. Matched your poo.
It just smelled like the death of every vampire in a city.
It's like everything inside her body was fleeing the garlic. It was just like, woo, and all the smells came out.
I imagine
it was a bouquet of awful.
Garlic is a very good antibacterial. So it probably did kill a lot of the bacteria in my gut. A lot.
Oh, so basically Stacy says it's find Jackie a real man before KPL. And she's like looking for a 6 foot, tattoos, and social enough to offset me.
Yeah. That's You're trading out?
No.
I don't think she has a closet to keep you in.
That's true.
Her closets are full.
Mm-hmm. Skeletons in there.
Nobody wants you, hon.
That's true. So one of our youngest boy was over last night. He was talking about some stuff at work, and he had a boss that was like getting onto him for a mistake that he made or whatever. And then he was saying then he started to get personal, like, nobody likes you. And I'm like, hold on. That's our job.
That's our family joke.
Yes.
Nobody likes you.
Nobody likes you.
Joke. You can't. Nobody else is allowed to say that to you.
No.
It's us. That's what we do. Yeah. I was very happy that he doesn't work under that boss anymore.
She says, I don't, my brothers. This ain't Tucky. Indeed. So good to see you.
Thank you for joining us.
She's editing and listening.
The cat has finally settled.
Well, that's good. He looks like he's about to poop on you. Yeah, I'm happy with
There's not much in there, so don't chug a lug. Don't spit in it either.
Oh.
No hakta around here.
It's been a while.
We'll continue to be a long time. Anyway,
you get me?
I really felt like we needed to share the garlic story.
Date, I can't even text and eat, apparently.
That's okay.
She's been watching Supernatural.
The kids watched that, didn't they?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Not everybody's perfect.
That was not a great not our
Men on Netflix. I like that show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good show. And all that stuff. I know there's a lot more shows out there like that we could probably get into. We have maybe just a couple episodes of Fallout left. So Jahil will leave us alone.
Right.
We forgot about that. Not really forgot. We just we've had like a couple of long nights where we haven't had the
attention span.
Well, the attention span of the ability to sit down and watch something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I just it's been a long weekend into the week. I'm still recovering from this weekend.
Sean says that is someone who got famous overnight.
Yeah.
Spin on that thing.
All right, you.
What?
We're a family channel here.
I was talking about that. I was chatting with Heath and Shelley on Sunday on their afternoon stream. I was saying that one of the first nights that Shelley came to hang out with him when they first met, she showed up with like one of those hot air popcorn poppers.
Yeah.
And popcorn.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's awful early to have the after dark thoughts in my head. Like, cut a hole in the bottom of the popcorn. You know what I'm saying? And
I was thinking Netflix and chill, but either or.
that works. I don't know how long they've been together, so Netflix may not have been a thing yet, but
Well, you're
I'm
trouble.
trying to stay at least PG-13 or better.
Okay.
I
stream of cuss words.
We haven't said any this whole stream.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
You should be.
Andy says, I have to get Netflix again. We're behind on Bridgerton. It was so good.
It is good. It is.
Oh, so good.
I definitely like them all. I do. And this season was a good season.
This was a very good season. I like this season a lot.
Yes.
Let's see. gonna hawk to a tattoo.
You can get her on the opposite leg of
I
Henry
do.
Rollins.
I did. I was in the car taking the girl home the other day, and we were at a stoplight, and the person in front of us had a window sticker that said, "Good parking job, Rita."
Oh, and it had
Bluey and Bluey and Bingo on it. They played Rita, and I have it in here somewhere. I have to look it up. My phone's here.
It's okay. They play two old grandmas.
Oh, the grannies. Where are you at, Jeremiah? Why are you not in here? Get in here.
He's texting.
I'm sending somebody who just texted me to know that I'm here, and they're not. Bunch of weirdos.
Weirdos. What are you looking for now?
Cheyenne's wanting us to know how much upright freezers are at Costco.
Oh.
Well, I'll look.
We'll have to look.
Yeah.
Ow. Really? Claws?
Let's see. Jaheel says, I can't believe that girl got famous for that. I want to know what her parents think, but good for her for having fun with it and making money. Yeah, so there's like merch and everything.
Yeah. Well, there was a news story that there's a family friend that they have that makes merchandise. That's one of his jobs. And he saw that this got famous really quickly and asked her if she wanted to make merch. And she said, yeah. And so he was selling it for her and covering obviously the cost of creation, but giving her all of the profits because he was like, she's gotten super famous super fast and isn't really making anything off of it.
And there's so many things being said about her, like that she's a school teacher and that she was fired or she was a bartender and she's not any of those things.
Or that she has like OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't
have any of that. She's just in her early 20s and being a silly kid,
saying funny stuff.
Yeah, sounds like she's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, you get me. I think she's adorable.
Wow.
Stacy says, thank you for sharing the garlic story. Yes, dehydrated foods are very concentrated. It's a story you won't forget.
Hopefully it's burned into his nostrils.
I need to get like one of those like spice grinders or whatever, or like a grind thing that I can grind up spices.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't put that. There's not enough in there to make the blender work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Because I would like to grind that down and just like pinch. Like
yeah. A pinch. A pinch. Not, here you go.
Or will I?
I mean, it was delicious.
Oh,
it was truly delicious.
Oh,
but, the weird crunching in my mouth, thinking I was eating bones. And then,
hey, babe, what'd you put in this?
And then the destruction of my gastrointestinal route.
I mean, some things just have funny consequences.
Is that it? Maybe we'll make sure they're funny to you next time.
I got some of that later. I ate some myself, so it's not like I'm without, empathy.
Not to the extent.
No, I'm just better.
Uh-huh.
And he says, I'm editing a clip that has Susan cussing up a blue streak, but I need to clip it. So funny. Yeah.
Yes.
The one girl that does random songs just did a song with her. Is that an eye roll? What's wrong with you? Come on, Jaqueline. I bet her Tinder profile. If she probably couldn't have one.
Yeah.
Too many creepos.
There probably are a lot. I feel bad for her because there are so many creeps nowadays.
And she might actually be with somebody too. She may have a relationship. You don't know.
I have no idea.
I mean, you don't know if she's hawk to and she can keep somebody.
Oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
These men, I can't. All right.
So, let's see. It was only delicious the first time it passed by. The second, third time it passed by, probably not so tasty.
Yes.
Garlic is delicious.
Yes. It was very, yeah. Whew. And all night. All night.
All night long.
All night.
All night.
I would like breathe and have to turn my head to move away from my breath. And I couldn't move away from it. I would be like, oh, and turn my head and then be like, oh, and like it kept getting me from every angle. It was amazing.
Wasn't there another story we had to tell too? Or did I forget?
I don't know.
Chiquelin says, I need not get desperate enough to jump back on Tinder.
Oh, yeah. It's a dirty, dirty, bad place.
I've never been. Well, I take that
It's
back.
like going to the sketchy bar in Claremont, which is down the street from us. Bad place to be.
I've never been in there.
I have.
I
several times.
downloaded, like, we broke up for like a week early on.
Maybe, yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I'll download Tinder. I got it because I'd never had it before because it had come out while we were kind of dating. And I was like, eh. And I was like, I got like 2 or 3 swipes in, and she calls, hey, we're going to the movies. We're going to go see Jurassic World. Do you want to go? But I don't think she wanted me as much as she wanted my discount card.
Maybe.
She said that's where I met Jim. So yeah.
Yeah, no, there's other places. You're going to KPL. If you haven't found anybody by then, you can find somebody there.
It's a good thing you weren't. Oh, she was.
I was.
Burping, just drinking or eating things still had the garlic, like minty garlic of the gum.
It was everywhere. It was coming. I'm sure I sweated it out. Like we washed the sheets this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I was garlic everywhere.
So my toenails shredded the
chip toenails, tore a hole in the sheet. So when he washed it, he turned it so now the hole is under my face. And every time I try to move, I get caught in the hole in the bed. I'm like, my arm is stuck. This man, I cannot.
You could not can.
I cannot can. I just cannot. He's too much. He does things like this to me all the time.
Well, they're a good sheet. They stay down real easy. They don't pop off. And like when you roll over, they don't go.
It is true. They are very good sheets. They have a good thick, like rubber.
It just has a window.
Not rubber, elastic band.
No, it just has a window.
It just has a window. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it started off small, and then like it was right where my foot would lay, obviously, because that's where my shark toe would be like.
Corn chip
toe. It probably got worse with your breath.
Probably. And the girl came over and goes, "What did you do to your sheet?" Pa's big old gangly, gnarly toenails.
Much older. That is true. Like
that's true. But the long distance thing. So here's the thing.
There's not a lot of like 20-something people that are hanging out with us.
Here's the thing with a long distance thing is that every time you meet, you can have a good time and then you can go back home and you don't have to interact otherwise.
She's talking about adult playtime.
I'm just saying. Long distances can sometimes be wonderful.
And there's no long distance phone calls anymore.
That's true.
Not like not back in like the AOL days where you wanted to call somebody. It was like 10-10-220.
And you don't have to like them that much either. You just have to sign up for a good time.
You'll start to learn things about people that you're with. So she's talking about sign up for a good time. I'm like, I'm here. Where's my good time?
You get a good time once a month. Be happy.
See what I'm dealing with, folks? How long are your toenails? Like, are you an eagle?
Yes.
Eagle fang.
Yes, he is. He could totally wrap around a tree branch with those puppies. Yes. Yes, he is.
I just at this one.
Oh, I love that, Evelyn. I swear. Oh, that's the funniest thing. When you get a bunch of nurses together, all of us talk about the nastiest things, and each one of us has like one or two things we're like, nope, we're out. That's gross. I can't. Like, I don't do bugs and I don't do eyeballs. So if you have bugs on your body of any flavor, I'm out. If your eyeball, something happens and it gets hurt or it's, nope, I'm done. I can't help you. You picked the wrong nurse.
I mean, unless you actually have to.
I mean, I would do what I had to do, but I may vomit in my mask. It's quite possible. But a lot of the other nurses I'm around are like, they can't handle respiratory secretions. They can't handle wounds. They can't handle, they don't like poop. You know, things that we deal with every single day. None of it bothers me except for bugs and eyeballs. So I feel you on crunchy toenails.
When I was in A school, I used to eat McDonald's every day until we were broke. My friend had he had gut rot really bad from all the grease. We were playing D&D in his room, and he would burp and blow it.
Ooh.
Gross.
That is just ew.
In someone's face who's arguing with him. Gross.
I mean, that's one way to win an argument, though.
Oof.
If I could turn my butthole, turn around, and just
Oh,
blow
Lordy.
it.
Jackie says, I'm the opposite of you. Touchy is my love language.
Yeah, that's not mine. My love language is doing things. So someone can say they love me. Somebody can, you know, hug me and all that kind of stuff. And it isn't that I don't appreciate it, but for me, my love language is doing things for me. So if I say, hey, could you X, Y, or Z, and it gets accomplished, I know that you love me. But if I ask you to X, Y, or Z and it doesn't happen, then I grow resentment and anger. So, them's my things. And yours is physical affection and being told that you're loved.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Javelin had to slip out for a while. Mom called.
That's okay. You didn't miss much.
There we go. Maritza is here.
Thank you for joining us,
I
Maritza.
think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not sure.
It's possible. Anything is possible.
This nurse can't do snot.
See, it doesn't bother me. The things I suctioned out of a patient this weekend, the other nurses were about to lose it. And I was just like, that was kind of cool.
I'll tell you what, that snot record, they only got one real snot record. It was so good. If you haven't, it's like new metal perfection from like the early 2000s, late 90s. I think it was late 90s because I remember seeing Ozfest 98 and Snot played, and that was like the last tour they got to do because then he was in a car accident and passed away. And then, his dog too. The Lynn Straight from Snot. But yeah, so if you don't know who Snot is, go check them out.
Or don't.
No, do.
You don't have to. Acts of service, yes. That's 100% my love language. 100%. If I'm doing things for you, I feel like, what is happening?
What are you doing there, buddy?
The cat is trying to climb the television. He's lost his mind. I'm pretty sure the cat has brainworms. Like, I don't know what to do with him.
Has he been around RFK Jr.?
He might have.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. But yes, acts of love. And I definitely feel like, well, I did this for you, so you should know I love you. You know.
Andy says, Chiquelin. The Barks root beer was delicious. So Jackie had a whole bunch of like diet sodas when we went down to Cincinnati area. Not Cincinnati, but like the area we went to in Ohio.
Oh, yes.
If you can't roll the R, so Maritza.
Maritza. Oh, I like that. That sounds like a party. Maritza.
Or pizza. I like pizza. I'll take the
You're
Maritza
such-
pizza, please.
You're such a dork.
Put extra crunchy garlic on it. I will make garlic powder for you instead of giving you giving you a hug next time.
Oh,
You know what?
Stacey.
Oh, that's for you. I was like, I better get a hug still.
You can give all of my hugs to Dustin, and I'll take the garlic powder with a measuring spoon.
We have measuring spoons.
Okay, with clear and concise instructions as to how much is appropriate for a human.
I use my heart.
He uses
I measure
enough
with my heart.
to kill all the bacteria in your intestine.
She's telling Andy that she's most welcome. And Maritza says, just got done watching Chris Cooking Nashville, and I'm glad I saw you on a live. Well, I'm so
Thanks
glad
for
that you
coming over.
joined us. I do really, I am upset that our live overlaps his live.
Because you love to watch his
I
lives.
love to watch his lives. This has kind of been like our spot, and like really one of the only times it's really convenient
for
us to be able to do it on a normal weekly schedule.
Yeah. Because we have the girl Monday through Friday, and this is not a day that I pick up extra on for work or anything like that. So we're both sort of here. The kids aren't usually wanting to come over on a Tuesday. So
yeah, it just so happens like he started in Tuesday work for him, and that's what it is.
Happens. There's only so many days of the week and hours of the day. People are going to end up overlapping, but very happy that you came over. That's so awesome.
They cooked protein bowls.
Nice. You'll probably watch it in the replay.
I'll try to check out some of the replay. I try to watch as much as I can, but there's so much.
Yeah.
That's another problem. It's like, I know, like, because like there's probably 2 or 3 lives going on at any given time during the week in the evenings. So like that's why we didn't do Monday, because we'd be overlapping with Dr. Bair, and it's like 5,000 people watching that.
Yeah.
Tuesday was wide open, and there's some like a couple different ones on Wednesdays, and then Thursdays like Jason does one, and 2 crazy ketos. And
there's just a lot of creators, so
yeah,
but we appreciate that you take the time to see us. That's just really awesome. That we're somewhere on the list makes us happy.
Late, we'll have to go back and watch replay. Well, thank you for being here, Nan.
Thanks for coming, Nan.
I hope you like the story that starts about 30 minutes in.
Yeah. He tried to kill me, just saying.
It was delicious death. Anyway.
It was delicious.
Sean says, I was thinking that Ash needs to make Chris a killer intro. I'm sure they could work together and do that. He's got those picking skills.
Yeah, that would be cool.
To have a good background music, but the intro would be awesome. My intro, as short as it is actually a friends band. They're called Driving at Night, which I joke with them. You don't even have to unplug or nothing. You just get up and walk away. They can still hear you.
I'm going to get up and walk away. Watch
because this will go like 2 football fields away. So they're called Driving at Night, and I joke with them because everybody hates driving at night. Except for me. That's my favorite time to drive is at night. But yeah, there was like friends that we used to play shows with back in the day when I was in a band and all that. So they let me use their music. They're very, very wonderful about that.
I'm back. Oh, gotta put my feet up.
Maritza says she's just getting into carnivore from keto. And I mean, we do the same thing. Like we started with, like when we started keto, the keto we started with isn't really the keto that's popular.
Keto now.
Yeah. I mean, it was, the total carbs wasn't a thing. It was all net. I mean, we still kind of, depending on what it is, we kind of pick and choose certain, like when it comes to vegetables, I don't care if it's net or total carbs.
Yeah.
As long like broccoli, I don't care. I figure I don't eat a lot of them anyway. And there's certain things that I do and don't worry about. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing for me. And we do primarily eat meat, eggs. So cheese. You like a cheese.
I like a cheese.
You like a cheese.
I like it a cheese.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I think, there's so many different ways to do things.
Don't take them into the bathroom, please.
There's so many different ways to do things that, whatever works for you is what works. And
yeah, you would. You would definitely hear the flush on the mics. These are good mics.
I will not take you to the bathroom. So if I ever do need to get up and pee, you're going to have to
At least
remind
the
me.
camera doesn't follow her in there.
Thank the Lord for that one. Nobody needs to see that. You already have to, but
I'm here for it. She says she's doing keto 3 to 4 times a week and carnivore 2 to 3. I mean, really, there's a good balance.
yeah.
I think oftentimes we get so kind of wrapped up in what's new and this, that, and the other that we don't stop to take stock in what's actually going to be viable for us individually long term. And I think one of the things that I try to stress to people is what worked. But with my experience or her experience and what does work for us can help guide you and others into what will work for you. Right. I just can't allow myself to be one of the people that's like, well, carnivore's the only way, or, you know, keto's the only way.
There's so many variations of everything. I mean, just because X works for Fred doesn't mean X works for Julie.
And even if you find something that truly does work best for you physically, it may not work best like
financially, emotionally,
consistently.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. So
I mean,
trying to fit it all in and fit it into your life.
Eating 2 pounds of grass-fed ribeye a day for the two of us isn't in the financial cards for us. So I eat a lot of frozen hamburgers. She doesn't like the frozen hamburgers.
No, I do not.
But I'll make her fresh burger or fresh beef, whatever I buy. She'll eat more steaks than I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm more willing to put up with the cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
And so we just got to make do with what works for us individually.
Bacon is absolutely delicious, but bacon hates me. So I can't really have bacon unless we pre-plan it and have it first thing in the morning, because I'm going to have heartburn all day long after eating it. So, you know, everybody needs to sort of adjust their diet to their lifestyle and their lifestyle to their diet. And so everybody's going to have an individuality to their process.
And I think if we're trying to look at this globally, what works for Americans may not work for people in Mexico, may not work for people in England, may not work for people in France, may not work for people in all kinds of countries. We have to, if we're looking at globally, how we do things isn't always going to be the same. Ow.
Cat claws.
Oof. Anyway, or even just like the differences between socioeconomic levels.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need to, Oscar Mayer hot dogs are $2.50 a pound at Walmart.
Yeah.
Is that optimal? No. But in a pinch, are you going to be able to sustain on your limited income with bologna and hot dogs and eggs? Yeah.
Is it going to be the cleanest?
No.
But is it going to get you through?
Is it better than eating pizza rolls?
Probably, yeah.
Oreos? So I think, that's just one of the things that I think that, like,
we try to talk about making sure that what you're doing fits for you. And we are a no shame place.
Right. There's no shame here. I mean,
if
anybody should be ashamed, it's us.
I mean, I'm ashamed of you all the time.
I hear you.
No, I'm not.
And she said it's working well for my body and lifestyle. Yeah, that's the thing. So like, I talk about, I made a video out last week about cheat days or a week before or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, sometimes just knowing that you're going to have the ability to have something later on, it's kind of like the carrot on the stick.
Yeah.
You can, so it can keep you in line and keep you on track because, I really want corn dogs. Well, I know we're going to the fair in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get a couple of corn dogs at the fair. So I don't have to go and do something silly by going and buying frozen ones from the grocery store and eating those when I know I'm going to have some, or I know we're going to go get sushi once or twice a year, or, we're going to go out and we're going to get wings.
The wedding to go to.
And we have a wedding to go to, and they're not going to cater to us.
Right. So, knowing those things, I probably will have a piece of wedding cake, depending on what kind of cake she got. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's gross, I'm not eating
I've
it,
never been a
but
huge fan of cake unless it's like
cake,
the cheapest. Like I always used to like yellow. I think was it
the yellow sheet cake from the grocery
just
store.
yellow cake with chocolate icing from the like not the grocery store, like the floofy. I was like the Duncan Hines, Betty Crocker, plastic tub chocolate frosting. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the lowest common denominator, but it's like what I grew up with. That's a comforting idea. Like that's and like fancy cake doesn't do it. It's all like it's a fancy. I want the cheap stuff. Like sometimes I'll just go and buy the cheapest hot dogs I can get because they taste good. They are not going to be good for me, but like sometimes I'll get bologna. Why? Well, because it's a taste of my childhood and it's not that bad.
No.
I mean,
I've always been a cookies and cakes girl and a cookie dough girl and a cheesecake girl. So it's hard to say no to those things, but over the years, I just do. It just is.
And I kind of think too, if you can get somebody like, so if you're a person and somebody comes to you and they're like, you know what, I see what you're doing and I kind of want to kind of do and follow in your footsteps. What do you do? And I used to go like long, drawn out, long, huge paragraphs via text or however they were communicating with me. And a lot of times they would just be like, well, that's not going to work for me. Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, what I do is focus on meat, eggs, some cheese, some vegetables, and I make it work for me. You have to get to know yourself. And luckily for me, this has helped me regain food control. It's helped me learn what satiety looks like for me. So, and I think that's important if you can teach someone what satiety looks like again, because so many of us have lived lives for a long time where satiety wasn't a thing.
You just eat, 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 eat.
Mm-hmm.
There's no end in sight.
Yeah.
Well, and I think your approach has improved. Long in the tooth was not even like enough to explain when people would talk with him about keto when, we first started. It got to where the kids would say, if you were keto, you wouldn't have had a flat tire. If you were keto, you wouldn't have stubbed your toe.
It's true.
Because every conversation ended in keto. And not that it isn't that important to us now, it still is, but knowing when and where and how to say what, this is what I'm doing and this is how it's working for me.
And Javelin says, what works best for you for a period of time is going to change with no apparent reason. That's the same thing. Like what gets you in the door isn't going to necessarily be what maintains you 5 years from now. Like, you could be in a position where right now all you can afford is hot dogs and eggs and frozen vegetables. But then, you may change things in your life and now you can afford to eat strip steaks and whatever every day. But you may still choose to have some of those hot dogs or whatever. It's just making it work. Because I think we get so caught up in what it has to be, what it should be, and not what it needs to be. Yeah. Because what it should be and what it needs to be are always going to be two different things. Not always, but I mean, there's going to be times where what it should be and what it needs to be align. And that's not most of us. So, Yeah. Charlie says, I had a good carnivore eating day today. Number 2 pounds of smoked pork belly for lunch.
Oh, that sounds so
1
good.
pound of New York strip dry brine, thanks to Chris Cook in Nashville for dinner. That sounds
amazing.
Yeah. So you're still eating a lot more than so a pound of New York strip and 2 pounds of smoked pork belly. I don't know how much. That's 3 pounds of meat in a day.
Yeah.
That's getting up there with like Sean Baker.
But sounds delicious.
Hot dogs and no sugar ketchup got me back on track because I was too lazy to cook and I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever it takes. I mean, you got to think about, making you physically better, over time. That's the whole goal, to be physically better over time. For us, to try to put the kibosh on the, food overeating all the time and the, I can't words. I'm getting tired.
Mhm.
You know, this obsession with food. Those types of things, you know, you do what you got to do to get back in, to get back on the horse. And if you fall off, you try again the next day. It's what we do.
Javelin says Rosalind's birthday cakes. I miss their like actual zebra squares. What they have at like Kroger now don't compare to what they used to be when my
You mean
mom.
Little Debbie?
No,
Rosalind?
Rosalind. Rosalind Bakery used to have these things called zebra squares. They were these super dense but really moist brownies,
Yeah.
and they had like a very thick like cream cheese icing, but it was real thick and like not. It was like, you know, that dry icing, you know what I mean? It was, but not hard, but it was dry kind of. It wasn't like,
Ugh.
it was, I loved it.
Sounds hideous.
You are ridiculous.
My
mom loved that stuff. And so that's what I would eat. And
I grew up in a household of mostly homemade things. So I am all about homemade cookies, cookie dough, homemade cakes, cheesecakes, and fruit by more than the pound.
Sherry's here. Good evening, Sherry.
Thanks for joining us, Sherry.
And there's one more point that I want to touch on in just a minute too that bothered me last night. We're planning on bringing a portable fridge with us to KPL, probably bringing smoked ribs, smoked pork belly, and probably a sous vide roast. Anyone bringing some food to KPL? I don't bring anything. I just bring my luck. I just bring my clothes,
this stellar personality and beard,
and my camera stuffs, because I do want to sit down with individuals and talk and record and kind of get some stuff out there, because so many of you wonderful people out there who don't have channels or don't have the reach, you know, I just want to talk with all of you. You're awesome people. I want to do Evelyn says I want to do tiny balls of frozen keto cookie dough to use as mix-ins for my creamy.
That'd be the reason I would eat a creamy. I've never liked ice cream. It's too cold. I like stuff in the ice cream.
Let's see. The only thing we plan on eating out or off plan is keto. For keto is available only once a year at a county fair. B-Trans egg rolls. The line is always hours long and they're so yummy. So that's the thing is like, you know, you're going to get that. It's
See, there's no reason to go off plan before that.
Right.
You know you're going to have that as an opportunity.
Sean says eating the same things over and over gets boring. If you don't have a variety, then you will get burnt out and cheat more. That's the thing is like, you know, do I feel my absolute best just eating beef and eggs? 100%. But, you know, having a diet soda here or there or some kind of flavor added to my water, flavored electrolytes, having bologna sometimes or hot dogs or whatever breaks up the monotony. And I don't have to, like, since I'm the person who does the majority of the cooking, like when I get up in the morning, I make her coffee, the girls' eggs, our sandwich, then I make her breakfast, then I make my coffee, and then I sit down and enjoy my coffee. So I get all that out of the way, and then I enjoy my coffee, and then I'll worry about eating later. And sometimes I just don't feel like it, so I'll throw hot dogs in the air fryer because I don't have to think about it. While that's going, I can get my little bowl of mustard or whatever I'm going to do, and, you know. Andy says, Sunday and Monday I ate 3 meals and snack, but today I drank my keto coffee, donated plasma, went grocery shopping, did a video, ate around 6 p.m. I do better on 2 meals and no snacks.
Well, see, and all weekend, my weekend was uber busy.
Like,
so
she wasn't normally she gets off work at 7:30, and there was nights where she didn't even call me till almost 9.
Yeah.
Then I'm walking it, and she texted me, I'm walking out to the car now. It's almost 9.
Yeah.
So she had long weekend. Like, so Friday she picked up.
And it was a good day.
Yeah, she worked in a different department or whatever, because where she was needed.
Yeah.
And she was like, she called me at like 7 o'clock, and I'm like, well, you're out early. She goes, well, I'm working in this department, and they leave early.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're still working the same amount of time, basically. But
an hour short, but yeah. And then the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday was a lot, very heavy, a lot. And very busy. And so, like, I didn't get to eat my lunch until almost 5 p.m. both days. So I had my coffee in the morning, and I say morning lightly because I think I finished my coffee on Sunday around 3. because that was when I actually had the opportunity to put a mouthful of coffee in my
I
mouth.
want to say bye to Jaqueline. Jaqueline, she said, I got a shower, get ready to wind down for bed. See you later. Love you. Bye, everyone. Bye, Jaqueline.
Bye.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a long, busy, not good weekend. Situation was very bad, but it's, got through it. But I didn't even realize that I hadn't eaten until it was like 5. And I'm like, oh, I should probably go eat. Like, no wonder I feel like I'm running on 0, because on top of everything else going on, I'm actually running on 0, and I don't do extended fasts. So I was like, oh, this is probably why I feel like crap.
And I did put some of the ketone stuff in your coffee over the weekend too.
Yeah. I don't know that it did much.
Yeah, well.
But especially because I didn't get it in my body until maybe 3 o'clock.
Well, we was still working a little bit here and there. I can feel my ketones working, Andy says.
Nice.
And Stacy says, that's how Stacy Keto came about. The Woman's World magazine, when Woman's World magazine reached out to me to hear my story, I need to do what works for me, and it evolved over the years. It's exactly it.
Yeah. And we're all, we all live lives, which means you have to adjust how things work, because everything isn't the same every day. Everything changes. So you got to learn to roll with the punches.
Sherry says, my friend gifted me a bunch of Chalk Zero for my birthday. My husband, Jim, says hi also. Well, hello, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
And happy birthday. If we missed it, I'm sorry.
Yes, happy birthday. That sounds like a wonderful gift.
He's down
Chalk Zero
to 280 pounds and wants to share that. Wow.
Wow. That's amazing.
He started at 474.
Congratulations, Jim. That's a major accomplishment.
Yes.
We're so proud of you.
And we're so glad that you're listening.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Saturday or a Sunday, you could hook up with this guy and talk about how things worked out for you.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that's a story we would all love to hear.
100%. Javelin says, is there a rain date for the fair? It's either, basically that's going to be rain or shine.
Yeah.
We'll be there, rain or shine.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah. And there's a second Tuesday, but we could.
It is a Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 2 Tuesdays that they're doing it, and we're doing the first Tuesday.
Not Thursdays.
Right. Just Tuesdays. So, if we go, we go.
For some reason, my brain is telling me it's a Thursday. I don't know why.
But today is a Tuesday.
Yeah. No, I mean the fair.
No, it's $2 Tuesdays.
Okay, you're right. You're correct, ma'am.
Pam, excuse me, Pam. Everybody's saying, way to go, Jim. My longest fast was accidental. Being diabetic for so long, I would get the shakes so bad that I could barely move. That's what happened to me. It wouldn't even be like the shakes, but I would be grocery shopping after work, because I'd leave work about 6:30, drive across town. A lot of times I would stop and see my mom at the nursing home. Then I would run to the grocery store. And I wouldn't eat most of and I wouldn't eat even back before. I wouldn't go out to lunch very often, because that's so much money. I wouldn't spend the lunch money, because we worked up on the nicer side of town and everything was expensive.
Mm.
And so I would be kind of have that low feeling. And I know if anybody who's been really diabetic, you'd have a low feeling. You're like, oh, I feel low. So I'd buy 2 candy bars and eat them on the way home, and then cook dinner, have dinner, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm still afraid to fast for too long. I've done 21 days.
Yeah.
So, is that, and people ask me, what's your advice for fasting? I was like, take it slow. When I started, it was 10 hours between food. And then it was 12 hours between food. And then and they would be months in between the shift. And then when I felt like, well, I think it's time to move down some, or move, close my window, then it went from, a 14-hour window to a 16-hour window that I would close it. So it'd be a 16-hour window with no eating. And then it got to the point where I was really doing everything within a 1 to 3 hour window. And that still took a couple of years to get there. But really, for me, it was out of laziness, kind of, because I didn't have to meal prep. I didn't have to worry about what I was going to take to lunch. I didn't have to remember to bring my lunch. I didn't have to remember to bring my lunch bag home. All these things that is easy to forget. Because how many lunch bags did you lose because you forgot to bring your lunch bags home?
That's why I'm so happy we use grocery bags now.
Oh, yeah. I put together 3 lunches. I put them all in grocery bags, line them up in the fridge, pull one out, hand it to her, off she goes.
And I throw it all out at work. Have nothing to bring home. Yeah, I can't. Okay, it's not that I can't fast, because I'm sure I could do it. I just don't want to. I like my coffee, and I'm not going to not have it. And that's really what it comes down to. And I know we all, make sacrifices and adjustments and changes for things. And that's unfortunately one of the things I'm not willing to live without. I love coffee. If somebody told me tomorrow that I, for whatever reason, I can't have my coffee, it would be possibly just like if I had H. pylori or something, and they said, you can't have coffee anymore. And I would be like, well, I'm going to live with it, as I'm going to drink my coffee. It's just going to happen. I mean, I guess if they told me that coffee would kill me, I would probably stop drinking it. But, I don't want to live without coffee. And if I'm going to have coffee, then I'm going to have food.
And one thing from that, I kind of want to talk about the last thing for tonight. So before bed last night, I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw Dr. Sean Baker. Now, Dr. Sean Baker is kind of one of those people to me. I think he does good, but he also is somebody who leans into the darker side of social media to get interactions. Because I think in his mind, and I'm not trying to speak for him, but in his mind, it's something that will grow engagement. And the more engagement he feels he gets, the more attention it brings to the carnivore way of dieting and keto and all of that, right? So, and he had posted about this creator, a live streamer from China, who was a long time mukbang. And if you're not familiar with what mukbang is, it's like usually basically like a lot of times they'll do it in their cars or they'll do it in front of you. They'll buy a bunch of food and they'll eat it on camera. It's not necessarily in line with what Caitlin talked about, but it's not far off from it either. So if you haven't watched the live I did 2 weeks ago with Caitlin, go back and watch that, because she talks about some of like the kind of like a sinister underbelly of the internet, where people pay people to overeat and show them proof that they've been eating lots of food. And it's terrifying. But in this instance, it's kind of the same thing, because people will tune into these live streams and basically send super chats and all these things while she's eating or while they're eating. And so she's a Chinese creator. And in China, like mukbang videos are illegal, but doing a live stream kind of skirts the law. And so she was doing it on a live stream and did 10 hours, and she passed away while doing the live stream from eating so much.
Essentially, her stomach tore.
Yes. And what bothered me about the post wasn't bringing light to the situation. It was almost as if he took the news article headline and the photo and then attached something that was actually kind of a funny piece of a movie from Monty Python and the Meaning of Life. So he kind of put the headline and then put that in there. And I understand that he's going for sensationalism. He's going for something to drive, engagement and to drive traffic and to get people riled up and divided.
But that's insensitive.
That to me was just the wrong way to go about it, because that woman, anybody who is,
that person is still a person.
Yes.
They're still a human.
Yes.
And they still need respect.
And even in the comments, like, well, that's what they get for eating so much. And I think we can't in this community
condemn somebody
for something that so many of us struggle with anyway.
Right.
The idea that what people forget or don't even know how addictive food can be. And even that's one thing I hope I never forget and I never take light of or make fun of or anything like that, because I know what it was like to just, I wasn't doing it on camera. I was doing it in my room by myself, watching TV at night, just eating so much food that I probably came close to that, having my stomach tear before.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if I didn't come really close, because there were nights where I would eat till I hurt. And that's a real struggle.
Well, and the other thing to consider is like when somebody's doing something like that, they're not doing it on a platform. When they're doing it on a platform, for what reason is that happening? What situation is their life that they need to do that for money? What situation is their life? Is this even something of their own choosing? Especially when you talk about things happening in other countries, like in general, there needs to be some form of sensitivity, right? You need to have some form of social conscience that is a human being that passed away. And even if they did it in any way that you're not in agreement with, they're still human. I deal a lot with patients who have drug overdoses, and I've had patients who have attempted suicide and things like that. And you have to consider that they are human. And regardless of how you feel about how they got to where they are human. And you care about them because they're a human being. And you have that respect for them as a human. And you don't know their life. You don't know their baggage. You don't know what they're coming here with. You don't know what's happened in their life to get them to that situation. So you need to manage how you react to things based on the fact that you're dealing with other humans in a society of humans, and you need to treat other people with as much respect as you can muster. It's the same thing with saying, disrespectful things with regards to, the recent political events, right? Nobody deserves to go through those things. Nobody deserves to, regardless of how you feel about the people that it's happening to. You have to have respect for other humans. You just do. It's part of what makes us people, and it's part of what makes us a society. Sorry, I stole your.
Well, that's okay. We push ourselves onto other people, and we push our ideals onto other people, and it's not necessary. I don't think we should do that. Whether it's food related, religion related, whatever it is, there's just things that, what works for you doesn't mean it's going to benefit others. Like, I know where I came from with food addiction, and I understand that it wouldn't be that difficult at a time when I was that was really happening to me. If I were to be on camera, that could have happened to me. And I think people kind of get lost in the situation. They feel helpless enough to go helpless, hopeless, and they're like, oh, well, I can make money doing what I'm going to do anyway. Consequences be damned, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, most of us don't really realize we can talk about our own mortality all day long, but there's kind of thing in the back of our head that we are going to be here forever, even though we know we're not. But it's like it's not a conscious daily thought. We kind of feel like, well, there's going to be unlimited time. Mm-hmm. And just it just was in bad taste. And then the comments were even worse. And I know we shouldn't probably read the comments, but and a lot of those are probably trolls that aren't even real people. But there's just so much about that. There's so many better ways that could have been addressed. And I felt like, well, maybe use my platform and kind of give my opinion for what it's worth. Because, that really bummed me out. It really just, you know what I mean? It was just so easy.
And we all laugh and joke and say things that are probably inappropriate here and there throughout our lifetimes. But at the same time, there needs to be wow, somebody's life ended. Somebody's life ended there.
And that's not the first time. And I know that just makes what we do all the more important, because spreading awareness that if you feel lost and you feel hopeless and helpless and eating disorders with eating so much food that you're in physical pain, there is a path
to get out of it.
To get out of it.
And there are people who aren't going to point and laugh at you. I mean, that I think is such a big thing because I can't think of anybody I've ever known who wasn't picked on some point in time throughout their life.
It's like, I think about Caitlin, the lady I talked to 2 weeks ago or whatever. She started at over almost 600 pounds, and she's posting videos of herself in the gym every single day right now. She's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
She had weight loss surgery. She did what she thought she had to do. She's taking control of her life. I mean, we may not agree that was the best. Not all of us will agree that was the best course of action, but I think for her,
it's what
anyway. And I think,
and we're back.
You just got to be proud of people for doing what they do. And, for her to climb out of the situation that she was in, she could have easily fallen into that same category with the lady from China. It's devastating. And I think we have to celebrate those people who have found the way to climb out, to start on a better path. And I think with that, I want to end doing this for 90 minutes.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And
we just want to say that we do love you guys and we support you. And we know that everything and anything that you're going through is rough and been through is rough. We've had our own struggles. We've had our own stuff to go through. And we care about you. And we'll laugh and joke and talk about garlic destroying my intestines and his nose. But we do. We care about you guys. We care about this community. And we want to make sure that we want to try to not be the first ones to point and laugh. We want to make sure that we're understanding that everybody's a person and trying to treat them that way.
I just want to reach just a couple of these comments here. Maritza. It's a big difference in diets and around the home because my daughter has all types of allergies to food, so we have to shop so differently. Yeah, I mean, you just got to make what works. And then here's Javelin is McDonald's quarter pounder patties today. I had big doubts. They actually start as a quarter pound.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. If they're $1.20 each and you're out and you're about, you're doing what you got to do.
You do what you got to do.
Sherry says I can do about 8 to 20 hour fast and make myself drink black coffee, but I missed my special coffee concoctions, a keto chow creamer, chocolate collagen, keto brains. Yeah, I think we get to the point where we get so in tune with what we like, but it's good sometimes to drink black coffee. I got to the point where I was drinking black coffee every day, and then we started the keto diet in 2016, and then the fatty coffee took over, and then I've talked about that ad nauseum. So
yes.
Evelyn says, a friend was pushing herself to do hardcore carnivore and give up coffee and cream. I said, the way I eat fits me because I'm tired of torturing myself for doing something not right.
Yes.
Yes.
That's something I think we all feel.
Yes. I think if you are truly missing something and you're not doing it because you may not be carnivore enough, and you may feel like they're going to be like, well, you're not carnivore enough. Well, you know what? You are getting the job done. Have your coffee. If you are having, serious reactions, then look into other options. Do what you have to do. I'm not telling people like, well, if you have a peanut allergy, eat peanuts anyway. I'm not saying that kind of stuff, but you know what I mean? But just make things work for you. And
try not to get down on yourself for things, for missteps, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, we're human. Evelyn says, I like sweets and coffee. For the first time in my life, I can eat them and still be healthy. There's a balance between physical and mental health, too.
Yes. There's a huge balance there.
Understanding consistency. Understanding that there's 30 days in a month. I know some are 30s, one, whatever. You know what I mean? There's in a month, there's generally there's 30 days in a month or whatever. If you are a person that eats 2 meals a day, over a month, that's 60 meals. And you have 2 off meals. And I know I've gotten pushback on this, but that's 58 on-plan meals you had. Instead of looking at the 2 off-plan meals, what about the 58 on-plan meals you did that month? I think sometimes we get so caught up in what we need to be doing, what we should be doing, we forget to look at what we actually were able to accomplish.
58 out of 60 is still a 96%, and that's an A in my book. Just saying.
You're not a teacher. I was relentlessly bullied all through junior high. I hope those kids learn to be normal adults. And a lot of times it's like people who are bullying and being mean have it way worse at home.
Yeah, they have bad other things happening in their life for the most part. But definitely, work on trying to be the best human that you can be.
This is the way. The way for you is the way.
Yes.
If having canola oil and buying, she still uses salad dressings that have canola oil, and because it's so difficult to find them without, and especially ones for
and making them doesn't make sense because I don't use it frequently enough.
And there's usually other stuff in those, and we could probably make cleaner ones, but it's like we don't use it enough. Yeah. I hardly ever use it.
I'll have a salad once or twice a month, and I like my cheese bowls. I put salad dressing on my cheese bowls. But even that's a couple tablespoons because most of it goes down the sink.
Yeah.
So.
Love you back. But anyway, with that, big air hugs, don't mind hugs, fist bumps.
Yes. Fist bump. Down for it.
Butter, coffee with eggs. Because I have a friend, my friend's mom has been talking with me about, she'd been vegan for 15 years and she was starting to have a lot of complications, and she's been doing, eggs, and she was vegan she didn't want to hurt animals. And it was a very big deal for her. So coming in, and she's like, well, I'm only going to have eggs and maybe fish. And we've been talking, and I was like, you know what? The circle of life is humane. And you can't look at a pride of lions and think they're being inhumane to the gazelles that they pick off.
Right.
That's the circle of life. And that doesn't mean you don't love animals. A lot of times the inhumane way is to treat animals and not cull the herds and not eat the weak and all that, because then they just get overpopulated and then they starve to death. That's even worse. But anyway,
other things.
Yeah.
Anywho, our Midwest goodbye.
Yes.
Welp.
Anyway, we love you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to our long-winded talks.
Yes.
And
keep practicing on being the best humans you can be.
Yes.
We love you guys.
And we'll see you
next Tuesday.
That's right.